Okay, come and stand in the middle of the mat, feet hip width apart. Think about growing nice and tall in the spine, tuck the pelvis under, shoulders relaxed, length at the back of the neck. Pull in pelvic floor, pull in transverse abdominis. Bit of a squeeze, so like 100%, make some effort in there. I'm going to hold 5 seconds and just try and separate the breath. So try and just squeeze, pull in, and then just breathe. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then a slow release. Now, if you're gripping your toes at all, just see if you can let go, do a bit more grounding down towards the feet. And again, pulling in, big squeeze, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a slow release. Last time. Pulling in, release the feet, holding that core 100%, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slow release it halfway, so you're holding it around about 50%. Now just go with the shoulders, shrug them up towards the ears, and then just slowly circling them back. So left, and then a really slow release and around. Shoulder circle. So if you've got any tension there, sat in the neck, it might help release that a little bit with these. Just see if you can go right to the edges here with the squeezing, all the way up, right towards the ears, all the way back, all the way forwards. So just working that full range around the shoulders. I've got quite a lot of shoulder like releases tonight as well. So just 2 more of these shoulder circles, really working right into the edges. So the next 4 exercises option, you can put your weights straight into them if you want to with your free weights. I will give you the option without them if you want. So holding onto your free weights, we're going to go side bends. So feet hip width apart, feet parallel, and then just reaching down to the side of the knee. Think about the feet here again. So if you're gripping the toes, just let go of the toes and see if you can kind of work this kind of grounding, just allowing the feet to feel kind of like they're supported by the ground. Breathing out as we go down. Try and relax there in the shoulders. Keeping the crown of head there in line with the spine. So the whole head goes over into the side bend. Got quite a few hip mobility exercises as well tonight. So you might feel here, I mean, I can feel some sort of micro stretches around the hips here onto this side bend stretch. 2 more. So shoulders down and back, elbows tucked in, scapular set. Just really nice and simple. Just check that you're not arching the lower back, so tuck the pelvis under. Elbows tucked into your sides, so they're not set forwards, they're not set back. Then just a bit of brain gym here. So you can go one hand and then the opposite leg out to the side and then to the other side. I went really high there so you can see in the screen, you have to go that high. So opposite arm, opposite leg. You don't have to go that high. I mean, it's not really, I wouldn't go that high, I'm just showing you because of the video. So just a little leg lift to the side. So just kind of waking in or out thigh a little bit here. Working a little bit of balance. Maybe you're getting a little bit more of a stretch there on the back of that shoulder. 2 more. Then we're going to go to the squat. So feet hip width apart, feet parallel. We're going to go one weight to the front, one weight to the side. So it's a front raise and a lateral raise with the squat. Try and keep the eye gaze forwards, the head still. Just breathing out, perhaps as you go down into the squat, squeezing the glutes as you lift. Same thing with the feet, so notice what's happening. Are you gripping toes? So if you can kind of release the feet a little bit, feel the ball of the foot connecting there with the mat. hips going back into space. Just check that the knees don't pronate in. 2 more. Then really wide for the sumo, like a sumo squat. You can allow the feet to turn out slightly if you want. Bending in the knees. Then think about getting quite upright. So tuck almost like you're tucking pelvis under. Take the shoulders down and back like your circles, and then take your big circle with the weights up and round. Breathing in left, breathing out as you come down. 5 one way and then 5 back round. Try and keep the head still in the center. Pulling in the core, so find the pelvic floor. Staying strong through the middle. And last time, up and round. Okay, weights down for a sec. Just gonna get a little bit more space on the camera for this next bit. A little bit of stretching and a little bit of balance to come through next. So come to the front of your mat. Cross the legs, breathing in, interlink the fingers, looking up, take a really big full body stretch here. Breathing out, arms can come down. Slide the hands down the legs. Take your roll down. Do 2 of these. So breathing in. Get nice and tall, take a big stretch, breathing out, lower back release. IT band stretch in there as well. Come down like you're going to touch the floor. Then unwrap the legs, you're stepping onto your right leg. So we'll do one at a time, I think, with this. See if you can have hands at heart center. Close your eyes, see if you can count to 5. Just finding a little bit of inner stillness. Let's anchor through the breath. Then opening the eyes, heel lifts, so just rolling through to the ball of the foot towards the toes. Go for about 8 of these. Might feel like the calf muscle doing a little bit of work around the lower leg. See if you can squeeze the glutes and draw in the core with these as well. Then you're going to step back with the left leg and take the high lunge. And this one, you're going to think about that nice stretch for the hip flexors. So square the hips to the front, the way you're facing. Then bring your arms up. Okay, take a couple of really deep breaths here. Just thinking about that length from that heel, that left heel, all the way up to the hips, up through the spine. Crown of head shining to ceiling. Then you're just going to turn your left foot to the side of the mat and come down into warrior 2. So this is where we're going to put some stretches in, kind of like on the inner thigh. Now this one, you square your hips to the side of the mat. You've got your heels lined up, so if you need to sort of have a little look. Your wrists to sit over the top of your ankles. Try and get that space across the chest. Keep thinking about that stretch kind of here through the inner hamstring, across the hips. Then we're going to drop right elbow down towards right knee and take side angle. And this kind of comes back into that side body stretch. Reach the fingertips right up over the head. See if you can create this really long line through the body from that left foot all the way up to the fingers on the left hand. Deep breath, and you're just going to reverse the arms. So tuck your left elbow into your left side and just stretch and reach the right arm up. If you haven't done that one, it does feel a bit awkward, but it's one to keep working with. Again, you're getting some stretching there into the hips. Then you're going to straighten the right leg, and if you need to shimmy your feet in a little bit to take triangle. Straightening the legs. Reaching up the left hand to the ceiling. Really good chest stretch in here, and you can kind of use your right hand towards your right knee to push in and lift. into that twist. Big deep breath here. Softening the right knee, lift up the left leg to a balance. This is warrior 3. So if you can place your arms down by your sides, create lots of length through the spine, crown of head shining forwards. Take a deep breath here, working with the balance, squeezing in the glutes. Then coming back to that standing position, we're going to do that on the other side. I'm going to do it over here so I can watch the screens. So you start with that, crossing the legs 2 times, reaching up. Breathing in, breathing out, sliding the hands down, chin into chest. Getting the stretch there. And then again, breathing up to left, breathing out as you come down. Then you're going to balance on your left foot. Hands at heart center. Perhaps using the pelvic floor and the breath as a bit of an anchor. Close your eyes, count to 5. Then releasing the arms, take your heel lifts. Pressing the foot down into the mat, squeezing through the glutes. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed. Eye gaze forwards if you can. Try not to look down. It might just bring your shoulders forwards if you look down. Then stepping back again into that high lunge. So right foot going back. Your hip width apart with your feet. Square the hips to the way that you're facing. Arms up, wrapping around the ears. Think about pressing through that back heel. Think about nice long spine. Crown of head shining to ceiling. Deep breath here. Expanding the rib cage as you inhale. Then get ready to pivot round to your warrior 2. So just slide around so that the right foot faces the side of your mat. Arms out to the side. Think about that stretch across the chest. You're squaring your hips to the long side of your mat now. You've got your heels in line, your wrists over your ankles. Just tuck pelvis in, so we're not arching in the lower back, to create those stretches kind of down the inner hamstring. Deep breath here, expand the rib cage, and then take it over for your side angle. Really creating that long side body stretch. Pressing down through the right foot, reach up through the fingertips. Again, squaring hips to the side of the mat. Ready to reverse the arms, tucking the right elbow into the right waist. Take it over. Then prepare yourself to triangles, these straightening legs. You might want to bring your feet in a little bit. Legs straight, like I said, and then a right arm up to the ceiling. Creating that space there on the chest. Working into your twist. Eye gaze can go up. Sinking your feet down into the mat. Big deep breath here. Turning that again round to face the small side of the mat, ready for warrior 3, lifting up the right foot, squeezing in the glutes. And then if you can, arms down by the sides. Find your balance, 3 breaths here. Try and get the crown of head in line with the spine. Keep squeezing in the glute. And then coming back into center. Nice, should feel like you've got lots of length in your legs. Okay, gonna do a little chair exercise now as a single leg exercise. Yeah, so if you've got access to a chair, it's going to be the chair squat that I often give on our option. So if you're on a sofa, sometimes that can be a bit low, you might want to put a cushion in, but we're going to put a little thing in here for the knees. Knees, feet hip width apart. You just lengthen the leg and you bend. You do 3 of them. Lengthen and then bend. So it's a little bit of a quad and knee exercise. On the 3rd one, you do your lift into your balancing single leg squat, and then you go again, 1, 2, and then 3, and then that 3rd one, switch legs, so you alternate each time, and then you go up. So we're doing a little quad set there in the middle, and then up, 2, and then 3. Think about, so if you're looking down, try and look forwards and just think about the kind of the rib cage, the chest. Try not to be kind of crumbling forwards in your chairs. Try and control what happens with the knee, especially when you go up into your squat. Don't let your knee pronate inwards. Stay strong underneath the arch of the foot, using the big toes. So just a nice little leg extension. Should feel that kind of work there in the quad. Quite good going into the winter. Winter's generally a time where people pick up little knee niggles. So just keeping an eye on strengthening these muscles around the knee. 2 more. You can always hold on for the bit where you're lifting up into standing if it's easier. Should have said that at the beginning. Sorry. Oh dear. So from there we're going to come down onto the mat. So we're going to downward dog. So make your way back to your mats. Downward dog or puppy dogs. Spread your fingers. Send the hips up to the ceiling. If you're a little bit tight on the backs of the legs, you can perhaps do your jazz walk here in downward dog. Send your chest towards your thighs. You can also do your walk where you kind of cross your legs as well if you want a little bit more of intensity on the stretch in your calves and your hamstrings. So there's always that little option in there as a walking option. Just one more deep breath here, and then we're going to just bring it down into dolphins, which is where the elbows are going to drop. So it's a little bit more intense. The blood will rush a little bit more to the brain, the head. Heart's above the head. Just take a really deep breath here. Then lowering knees down into the mat because we're going into front leg pull. So find the core here, so find pelvic floor, find transverse abdominis. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed. Crown of head in line with spine. Option 1, knees down. Option 2, legs straight. We're going to hold. If you've got your legs straight, you're going to get that stretch there on the feet. We'll go for, I'd quite like to try a minute, if that's okay, if I start counting now. Because I don't have a stopwatch, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 30 seconds. Just check that you're breathing. 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now keep squeezing these core muscles. 20 seconds to go. 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 seconds to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Have a 10 seconds rest. Low plank to high plank. It's been a little while since we've done this one, so it might feel hard, but let's have a go. 8 of these. So option 1, hips lifted, elbows underneath your shoulders, pushing up. You've got your high plank, and then lowering down. Any shoulder issues, press ups against the wall. Otherwise, have a go. And you can also do it in the full plank version. 8 times, lift and lower. You can allow the hips to kind of move side to side. Just brings the obliques in there. Don't forget to breathe. Maybe pushing up with the other arm if you're favouring one over the other. Once you've done your 8, sitting back towards the heels, just for a little stretch here. You can take it if you want more intensity. Open out the front body, lean back onto your hands. Right, going to come forwards to Superman, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Find a neutral spine, drawing the core. We're going to bring in the weights actually, so you might want your weights either side if you've got them. Just take a slide and then a leg lift, squeezing in the glutes. So really simple and alternate. Slide, leg lift. Nice simple lower back exercise. Glute squeezing here as well. Eye gaze to the front of the mat. Try not to look back at the legs. Try and get that slide out and then the straight leg lift. So it's almost separate moves. The slide and then a little bit of a lift. Option to add in them is you take the weights underneath the hands and you just going to put in like a tricep row. So you're going to do your slide and then a row back. Slide, lift, row back. Slide, lift, row back. Shoulders down away from ears. Just try not to arch in the lower back, so keep bracing, keep pulling in on the core. Breathing out into the extension part. Should feel that in the backs of the arms, triceps. Into that lift back. Three more. Crown of head in line with spine, eye gaze to the front of the mat. Then weights to the sides. Step forwards, left leg. Low lunge. Little bit of a twist in here option if you want. Right hand down, left hand up towards the ceiling. So just putting kind of that long twist through the body. You can really press into the fingertips. So if you just actually on the fingertips into that twist, bring the eye gaze up. Then bring it back round. We'll swap legs again. Low lunge, right leg forwards. Finding your hip flexor stretch, hips are facing forwards, and then you put in your twist. Left hand down, fingertips into mat. Right hand up to the ceiling, eye gaze going up. Spiraling chest to the ceiling. And then release. We're going to come all the way down onto our fronts now. Sphinx. I'm going to put cobras in. Now, if you liked last week when I spun cobra onto staff position, then we can do that again. So just put yourself at the edge of the mat so you've got space to spin. So Sphinx, elbows underneath your shoulders, hips going down into mat, lift up the heart, crown of head lifting to ceiling, kneecaps lifted to get some length through the legs, then kneecaps down, slide the toes off the end of the mat. You're thinking about that length all through the spine. Eye gaze forwards. Now if you're going to put in your cobra, breathing in, just lengthen out the arms and the hips down, breathing out lower. So your choice whether you want to just hold in Sphinx and really work with the breath, expand rib cage, work through that length, or you want to put in your movement, you want to add in your cobras. If you like the spinning stuff last week, bring it down into Sphinx, rolling all the way around into your staff position. Bring it back down into Sphinx. You lift to your cobras. Just if you like, similarly, I mean, this is something I did last week. And it's if you wanted to put it in. No, not necessarily. You might just want to go Sphinx to Cobra. You have to roll right off your mat as well for some of it. 2 more, whichever version you've put together. Coming down, prone, just ready to get your forehead onto your hands. Glute activation, so squeezing in one glute, lengthen out the leg, point the toes if you can, and then release it down. See if you can get the glute to squeeze, the hamstring to activate, and then the lower back on the other side to stabilize. About 8 of these. Breathe out as you lengthen and lift, breathing in as you lower. Almost like you're just offering the sole of your foot to the ceiling. Then take a quad stretch, so just holding onto the foot. Send the hips down into the mat. Any resistance there, you're getting any tightness in the quad, just feel like you can acknowledge it. Notice it. And then let it go. Breathing out. It's the same idea if you can do that with any thoughts in your head that maybe pop up and they just uncomfortable. You notice them. Acknowledge them. Maybe you try and understand them, maybe you don't. And then you just see if you can let them go. And then swap sides. Sending the hips down into the mat. Then tilted bow option if you want it. If not, you could do double leg kicks. So you could lift and then you could tilt that over. So you're just putting in a very subtle twist. It doesn't have to be taking your feet all the way to the floor on that. So it's just a lower back kind of release twist. Otherwise, tilted bow, holding on to ankles, lifting the chest, shoulders back, look forwards, get the stretch there on the quads, then release it down. See if you can roll that to your side. And then again, into the lift, and then into the side. Just about 4 of these. Then last little bit for our posture then, coming onto our fronts, forehead on the mat, interlink your fingers behind your back, shoulder squeeze, lift your shoulders, crown of head stays in line with spine and lower. Breathing out, lift, and then breathing in, lower. Try and just keep the chin tucked under like you're reading a good book here. Thinking about the crown of head. Staying in line with the spine. You can always look to the side as you drop down. There's a neck release. Last one. Then we're going to release those with a cat stretch, so up on all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck the pelvis under chin to chest. Get some space between the shoulder blades. Up to you if you feel like some movement here. Taking a little bit of a rock or a spiral circle with your hips and your shoulders. Just have a kind of go with the flow if the body wants to move. Try and keep that space between the shoulder blades. Other way around if you're circling. Wrist stretch here if you want it. Just take one at a time, fingers facing towards the knees, gently press through. And then just switch sides. Then last little bit of release before we go on our fronts is sitting back onto the heels for child's pose, or if you prefer puppy dogs, with your hips over your knees. And then just bring your forehead down onto the mat. If you want, you can maybe hold on to your feet. You could just have a little bit of a massage with your feet. It's quite nice to put a bit of attention into the feet. Bring in your yogic breath, so breathe in, expand through the lower back, send it up the spine, all the way towards the third eye. I think as well with winter and the dark nights and some of the weather, it's just good to keep practicing some gratitude. So if you just think of one thing that you're just truly grateful for in your life, bring it to your mind. Three deep breaths. Then coming from there, I'm going to pick a side. Just quickly check on the time. Sitting up a bit like mermaids to start with, we're going to do the thread through twist. Also, obviously, hip work here. Breathing in, lifting arm up to ceiling, breathing out, thread the hand underneath the other arm. Chin goes down into chest. Got that twist all through the waist. Breathing in left, breathing out, coming round. Any shoulder issues, you can, bring that lower down. So you've got your elbow down if that helps. Just 4 of these. Thinking about kind of internal organs a little bit more here, the liver. Just getting a little bit of a twist through. And stretch. Then lowering down, we're going to go to clams. Just straightforward ones. I'm not going to put in the lengthening on this one this week. Just almost like you're going to fall forwards. So you've got your heels in line with your hips, in line with shoulders. Lift and lower 8 times. Just see if you can work with that glute med into that lift. With a bit of control, a bit of focus on the feet, a little bit of tension there in the feet. So you haven't got the arches of the feet kind of dropping on each other. Just check you're pulling in on the core, so find a little bit of that. Glute med quite important with the tying in with the knee work we've been doing. Then lengthen out the legs, double leg lift. So lift top leg, lift the bottom leg, lift the rib cage. Now think about sending those toes right the way away from you at the end of the mat. Arm up and over for some balance. Big stretch, and then just see if you can take a circle with the arm towards the ceiling. Like you're drawing a giant peach. Then the other way around. Keep the feet lifted. Then releasing that down. Side plank, and then we're going to go on the other side. Elbow underneath your shoulder. Option 1, knee down into that lift. We're going to hold 30 seconds, and you could put in the top leg lift if you want as well. Option 2, legs straight. Into that side plank. Again, this is a really important one for the knee. If that's something that you're going to get through the winter. Lifting those hips, squeeze and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep breathing here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Don't drop those hips. 17, 18, 19, 20. Last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release it down. Let's do these on the other side then. Starting with your mermaid thread throughs. And because you picked this side second, it probably feels a bit stiffer. I mean, I do. Oh, this side doesn't work. Breathe in left. Breathing out, thread through. Just explore the space, explore the twist. Maybe getting a little bit further each time. Chin dipping to chest. Very subtle, but quite powerful. And I always notice when the next day when I've done this one, I can feel it around my rib cage. Breathing out. Then we're going to come down to the clam. Almost like you're going to fall forwards. Lift up the heels in line with your hips, in line with your shoulders, and pulling in the core. 8 times lift and lower at that top knee. With control. You can always put your fingers there on the core muscles. Check that you've got the tension you're pulling in. 4 more. Then that double leg lift, straighten out the legs. Lift top leg, lift bottom leg. Lift that rib cage. Take your arm up and over, take a really big stretch and a balance. Then take the giant peach on the ceiling. Thinking about sending those toes off the end of the mat, so you're still thinking about some length here. Other way around. Keep using the core. Keep exploring that shoulder kind of stretch around. And then releasing it down. Prepare for your side plank. Elbow under your shoulder, whether you're in that first position. So if you can work the elbow up to the ceiling just to get that space on the chest. A bit like when we were in triangle earlier, or legs straight. Working these hip lifting up, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try and keep this crown of head in line with spine. Keep squeezing. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And breathe. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower it down. Okay, onto our backs then. Just that camera a little bit. Relax your shoulders, get some length at the back of the neck. We're going to go straight into the 100 times 5. So 4 toe taps, 8 pulses, and then an 8-second hold. Just if you've got your chin lifting it to the ceiling, just try and dip your chin in. If you struggle with that, you could always put a pillow underneath your head. Find that pelvic floor pull in. Find that TVA, draw in hollow to hips. Imprint lower back down, knees, feet hip width apart. Here we go. 4 and 3, these are the toe taps. And 2 and 1. Lift head and shoulders, pulse the arms up and down, keep your tummy still. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingertips to knees, rib cage going towards your hips, hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. If you want more, tabletop that. And 4, 3, 2, 1 to pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. And 4, 3, and 2, 1. Check we're breathing here. If you want more, hover. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Option here for teasers if you want to. 8, 7, 6, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. 2 to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. And pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Last time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Still imprinting. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Full body stretch. Perhaps hold on to your, interlink your fingers and really work into the stretch on the arms. Point your toes. Have your arms wrapped around your ears so your shoulders are right up by your ears. Drawing your tummies in. Scrunch up your face. Take a really big deep breath in. And breathing out, just let the muscles relax. Bending the knees then. Interlink the fingers again. I know I've been doing a little bit of that, just so you, almost like you're making like a chopping fist shape, so interlinking fingers. Breathing out, bring that across to the side of the knee, and then lowering it down. Chin goes to chest. So you're kind of using that kind of shape with your hands into that lift. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in, lower. Adding in, if you want, then opposite leg, heel slide. Imprint that lower back down. Try and keep the hips still so they're not tilting side to side. And then progression 3, put it all up into tabletop, single leg stretch. Try and keep that lower back imprinting. Keep engaging with the core. Choose the layer that's kind of really going to work for you today. 3 more, whichever one that you're working with. Then feet on the mat, point the fingers up towards the ceiling. And I did this, I think last week, point the fingers. Breathing out, take that point over the head, get some length here through the arms. If you've got the space, circle it around the body. If you haven't got the space, you could just go out and back. I have got the space if I move, otherwise I hit the wall. So it's breathing out into a really big chest circle, nice hovering the arms off the floor. Imprint the lower back, imprint the shoulder blades. Really work the fingertips. You could put in your tabletops to this and your double leg stretch as you lengthen out away. Then bend, come back to the center. Get that length at the back of the neck so the chin's not lifting up to the ceiling. 3 more, whichever version that you're working. Maybe you're just doing arm circles with the pointed index finger. Then arms out to the side, bending knees, feet on the mat, breathing out, let both knees drop across to one side. Breathing in center as your lower back release, and breathing out over to the other side. So kind of work again here with what your body needs. If it needs a bit of stillness and a stretch, take your knees over and then you could lengthen out your legs to that side and hold. If you think you just want to keep working with your movement, you could work with your knees bent. Another option is to do a little kick, so the top leg touches, goes across and touches the hand. So that's something you can put in if you want. There's a hamstring stretch in there if you want as well. So kind of just working with what your body needs. Perhaps working with your day. If you've been very active, you might just want to really work with your stretching. Your chest stretch in there. You're lengthening out your legs. If you've been quite sedentary, is that the word, sedentary? Yeah. You might want more movement. I did a lovely walk in the woods today. I did 2 hours in the woods walking. It was really nice, just to slow. My head was a bit racing thoughts, and it just really helped slow things down. Okay, last one. Then we're going to do hamstring stretch, and I'm going to do mine on the door frame. So how are we doing it? I've got time. So that's going to be my option, but if you prefer, you can use your band. So again, just work with what you've got, what you want to do. You might have other bits of furniture that you want to use. If you really like the wall stretch we've been doing with the intense flank as well, that's another option you can do. Well, mine's a door frame door handle. So one leg up towards the ceiling, or you've got your band, or you're putting it into furniture or wall, or something like that. Square the hips, check you're not wiggling there in the hips and the coccyx is going all the way down towards the floor, you're not lifting. So a bit of PNF, so progressive stretching here. Push right at the back of the knee, count to 5, nice and slowly. 4, 5, and then release the stretch, but then kind of hold the leg in position, or if you've got the release in the leg, bring it towards your chest a little bit for 10. Then we go again, 5 seconds, push right at the back of the knee, engage that hamstring. It's almost slightly, it's almost uncomfortable, it's not painful, but there's an uncomfortable, the muscle's getting a stretch, it's working with you. Then release, and then if you can, you might move yourself into the door frame, or you might use your band to bring your leg towards you. And as you release, you count to 10, just try and breathe, just exhale. Last time, pushing into the back of the knee, work the muscle, 2, 3, 4, 5, then breathe out, let go, and then you might get further in, depending on how tight your muscles are and whether they're going to give you something. And breathing out, release. So we'll go to the other side. I'm going to glute stretch as well in a minute, but we'll do that afterwards, I think. Other side, so if you need to move yourself around. Same thing. You're going to push at the back of the knee. You can either have the other knee bent, or if you prefer, you can have the legs straight. But do keep an eye on the hips, so they're square to the body and the square to the floor. You're not lifting. You can always hold on to where your hip bones are and just check you're not tilting in your pelvis there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then breathing out, release, hold the stretch, but not activate the muscle. And then we go again. If you can, you might want to get further in. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, activating, and then 10. Breathing out, releasing, but holding the stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last time. 5 seconds. Activate that muscle, push at the back of the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then coming away from that stretch. The bands to the side if you were on bands. God, that felt quite nice really, because I've been running a lot in the rain, and when it rains and when I get in I'm so cold I just want to shower, and I don't actually stretch my hamstrings very well after running in the winter. Glute stretches then. Pick a side and then just place your foot just above the knee. Option 1, pushing into that knee, and then the knee pushes into the hand. Option 2, thread the hands through and see if you can lift the other foot off, and then you find your glute stretch. If you want a little bit more, tilt over just kind of maybe 5 centimeters or 10 centimeters max. Tilt over to that the other side of the glute, where the spare leg, not the glute you're stretching. And And you just get an extra little bit of work into the glute stretch there. Try not to let the chin lift up to the ceiling. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed. We're just kind of holding until we get that point of release where it's not kind of resisting you. Normally 15 to 30 seconds you'll get that release. Coming back into centre, literally just swapping sides, so other side. Check your hips aren't kind of tilted in there. Just put your hands on your hips. Flexing the foot that's resting on top of the knee. You could do your thread through, or you could do your pushing into the knee. Find your stretch, try and relax the upper body. You could put in that little bit of a tilt as well if you want. And then just breathe. Just wait for that release. Oh, I can see a doggy. I like it when doggies join in. Coming back to centre then, walk your heels a bit closer. You can touch your heels, knees and feet hip width apart, pelvic tilt. Treat it like a massage for the lower back. Nice and carefully, each vertebrae with the spine. Adding in if you want, lifting up the hips. Just interlink, so last shoulder stretch here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, tuck them underneath the back. Chin goes to chest, really lift as high as you can with your hips. Into that bridge position. Breathing in, expand as much as you can the rib cage. Breathing out, release the arms and float it back down. Hug knees into chest, rock, circle. So if you can bring that up to seated position. How am I doing for time? I'm okay. We're going to roll back, and I'm going to put in shoulder stands. I haven't done them for a little while, so option for shoulder stands if you want them. If you don't want to roll back, just C-shape the lower back to your upright position, but try not to lift your chin on that, so keep the length at the back of the neck. Let's layer ourselves into this. So holding on to the shins, just rock it back. Stay tight, and then see if you can come back to your hover position, just finding the core. Just a couple of them, just to get the spine ready. Keep the chin tucked under. Then we're going to go up. Take the legs up to the ceiling. Then option here to put some scissors in, because we've done some nice hamstring stretches. Pointing the toes. Think about a really nice long stride, long legs. In here. Nice and slow. Support your lower back with your hands. Chin to chest. 2 more with these scissors. Then slowly lowering yourself down. Coming back to that seated position. Going to finish with a couple of stretches actually. So start in that staff pose, flex the feet, and you might find a little bit of hamstring release there. Just hugging knee into chest. We're going to go half Lord of the Fishies. If you want a little bit more, you can cross. Not necessary, you don't need to, but you can put in your foot across. Think about a really nice tall spine. So use holding onto your knee to lengthen here with the spine, the back of the neck. Almost like you're lifting the chest forwards, but you're taking the shoulders back. Now we're going to put in a twist, so opposite elbow tucking around the knee. Fingertips going around the back. Eye gaze going round. Breathing in, get really tall with this twist. And then as you breathe out, see if you can get a little bit further round. 3 breaths. Breathing in, come back, get tall. And then breathing out, work into that twist. Keep that flexion on that straight leg with that foot. So still engaging through that hamstring. Then take it back round to the side, feet still flexed. Hug the other knee into the chest. Take a moment to get nice and tall. Think about the length at the back of the neck. Then you can always cross over, put that leg across if you like that. Then opposite elbow coming round, fingertips going round to the back. Looking round, breathing in, get tall. 3 deep breaths here. Breathing out into that twist. Breathing in, get tall. Breathing out, twist. Keep that flexion on that foot. Keep activating. Slowly uncurl. Last stretch is the butterfly. Soles of feet together. Holding onto the feet, or if you prefer, onto the toes, so you can kind of put a little stretch there through the arches of the feet. And you can hold onto toes. Breathing in, kind of get a lift on the chest if you can, but try and keep your shoulders down. And it's not, you don't have to have your heels really close to your body on this or anything like that. Just see if you can make these connections holding onto the feet. If it's too much, you can hold onto the ankles, onto the lower leg. 3 deep breaths here, expand, open the ribcage. It's worth kind of noticing in the day, just check, am I breathing? Am I really breathing deeply? Expanding that ribcage. Am I taking the time just to breathe deeply? Breathing out and hands at heart center. Namaste.